show where we sit down with people who've built remarkable careers and dig into the choices, pivots, and philosophies that shape their journeys. Today, we're talking to someone whose work sits in the intersection of design, creativity, and intentional living.
Our guest, Miladys Cruz-Fisher, has spent nearly 3 decades shaping how ideas take visual form. She's the founder of iSpeak Creative, where she transforms complex scientific and technical information into clear, compelling visual stories for clients across biotech, healthcare, and finance. She's also the force behind ZEN Clutter Coaching, a business that blends design thinking with personal organization to help people reclaim their spaces and their focus.
Across her career, Miladys has followed a through line of intention, design as a strategic tool, design as a translation, and design as a way of helping people to do their very best work. Today we'll talk about how she builds a multifaceted creative life, how she continues to evolve her craft, and why clarity, whether in a presentation or in a living room, is so powerful.
This is CareerCast. Let's get into the conversation. So, Miladys, you've been in the field for over 3 decades now. So I just want to ask, as someone who started her own business with all these different skill sets, what was that like? How did you really get into that?
Well, it's interesting, and it's almost been 3 decades. I know I'm dating myself, but yes. I will say that I started out working in the corporate environment, and, as with many job opportunities, it starts out great, but their business may take a downturn, and unfortunately they let some people go. I was included, and it just seemed like an opportune time for me to take what I had learned from working in different environments and across different businesses, and go do it on my own. I always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and I just felt that I could make a go of it.
So as someone who's, seen all these different perspectives from working with companies to making your own and taking all these different kinds of jobs, how have you seen the field change over the past 30 years? But even in all that change, what do you think has stayed the same across all that time?
Well, it's interesting. What has changed in recent years has been the advent of AI coming onto the scene and having to evolve and grow with it. Currently, I'm using AI as a strategic think partner, and I think that a lot of people are shying away from it because even just within my own business, I've seen in the last few years where it's died down a little bit in terms of the requests initially, but it's coming back up in that those of us who are leveraging AI are able to offer it to clients in a way that we can fast track our brainstorming ideas and bring things to life a lot quicker, and make it work for us, because what I anticipate will not be changing is being able to use it in a way where we are still the visionary, the creative think force behind AI. So we're throughout these decades, we've always used the creative suite and that environment to create things. Now it's just a matter of being able to utilize the technologies that are available to make things happen a lot quicker and bring our own visions to life. And I think people are starting to realize that they kind of want to work with concept thinkers.
And like Frank said, you utilize so many different skill sets throughout your work. So what I would love to know is, how do you maintain that sense of excellence throughout all of your different disciplines?
I think a big part of it is research. I've always started every single job or project that comes my way with finding inspiration and research and delving in deep to find the best ways to do it and execute, and then going from there. Because I'm not only a creative person, I'm quite analytical as well. So the inner workings of different things, be it branding and the philosophies and the foundations behind that, or web design and the back-end coding and development behind that. I wanted to be a well-rounded designer and a multidisciplinary creative professional. So I think that that was just always a driving force for me, was to just research and find great inspiration before executing.
And as an entrepreneur of 2 businesses, how do you see these businesses evolving in the future?
Well, it's interesting because initially what prompted me to start or to just launch A to Zen in the last year was seeing how the creative services industry was taking a little bit of a downward hit with AI. However, once I started to really delve into it and use it for my own purposes of, strategic thinking and framing the infrastructure for the business, I'm starting to see that I could use it for both. So rather than tamping down one with iSpeak Creative and building up A to Zen, I'm trying at this point to rev them both up. And it's been working very well thus far.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, you sort of embraced AI and welcomed its inclusion into this whole creative space. So what was it like for you to learn AI? How did you learn what it was capable of and how to best implement it into your own work?
Well, it's funny because I've always gravitated towards wanting to learn new things, as I mentioned. And when I heard about it, I was really intrigued by it. So I say that I'm a forever student. I encourage everybody to be a forever student and to really dig deep into learning. There's so much available out there online and YouTube. Whereas if you do a simple search on anything, any topic that you're interested in, you can find a plethora of information right online. And the more I started digging into it, the more it would come up from just the algorithms on my feed. And I just became intrigued by all of the information that I was coming across. And then I said, well, let me start using ChatGPT and see where I can take it and what I can ask it and how far I can push it. And the more and more I started learning about that and, the prompts, I was like, wow, really blown away by the results. And this is going back about a year and change ago. And then recently, I have a friend who's an AI coach who reached out to me. And he just said, we can level up your game even further. So he started to work with me. We started to work together on strategies for implementing it even more so into the business. And so now I'm really just, every day I wake up really early, about 5, 6 in the morning, and I start my day with what I call YouTube University and my AI, in my AI quest for more knowledge. And I'm implementing what I'm learning in real time on a business level. To the point where I've been able in the just last few weeks to launch a companion app in a matter of days, something that would have taken just a few years ago, maybe 6 months to a year to develop. So it's mind-blowing what I'm learning day to day and how I'm able to put it into practice to build up the businesses.
And as you know, a lot of college students and even high school students these days are told, stay away from ChatGPT, stay away from AI. They're kind of taught that it's somewhat of the devil. So what do you have to say as, a successful worker in your field? What can you say to college and even high school students about how to successfully or use AI to their advantage rather than to their disadvantage?
I say it's all a matter of mindset. With anything in life, you can approach it from an optimistic standpoint or a pessimistic standpoint. And I say embrace it. Use it to your advantage, not to cheat the system, but to advance yourself for your own, your own development. It's only going to catapult your success. And I will say I understand the reluctance by many to shy away from it or to think that it could be something that can be leveraged in a negative way. But that's with anything in life. It's what you make of it, how you approach it. If you're looking to utilize it in ways that are negative, then it will be negative for you. But if you're looking at it in a way that it can supplement your own creativity, your own values, and it's going to work in a positive way for you. And so far for me, it has proven just that.
And thanks for joining us today on CareerCast. We hope you enjoyed the show, and as our guest said today, we hope you are also on the path to being a forever student. On behalf of my co-host Frank Macri and the crew of Professor Golda's CM225, thanks and have a great tomorrow.